Lisa, hello.
Hi, Gary. So good to see
Oh,
you.
thank you for having me as your co-host for your. That's really awesome.
Yes, I'm really excited to do this review with you, Gary. The Sinners. Hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a great time tonight. We're gonna get your take on it on from an artist's perspective. We're
Yeah.
going to also take a look at the characters and the storyline, and then I think we're also going to towards the end kind of put the link up if anyone's going to want to come up and if they've seen the movie Sinners and tell us what they think about the movie.
Absolutely. That would be so great. See what
Oh,
others think about it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Um, at the first half, so right after I saw the film, I really tried to get out my professional, opinion on it. So this year, I'm actually, since I'm in SAG-AFTRA, I actually vote for the SAG-AFTRA Awards, which is now called the Actor Awards.
mm,
So it's really fun. So I'm watching, I'm trying to watch all the films now. And this
yeah,
is this is the first review out of a few that are up for awards. This one is up for a lot of awards.
yeah, absolutely. I thought it was just a fantastic movie, and we're going to double into it. Um, why don't we go ahead and kick this thing off? I'm taking a look. Let's see if there's someone in chat. There's not too many people in chat yet, but people are starting to come in. We're going to actually get this
Yeah,
party
hi
started.
everybody.
We're going to get this
Welcome.
party started. And look at that, Willie's Desert Hangout.
Oh, Willie, I haven't talked to you for a while. How are you? So good to see you.
Nice, nice. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
And once again, this is Lesa Noelle's movie review of the movie Sinners. How's it going, Willie? Good to see you. Okay, so let's get this thing started.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're going to do is we are going to get
No, I
Lesa
can.
Noelle's perspective as an actor in Hollywood on the movie Sinners, and away we go.
So, as a SAG-AFTRA actor, I get to vote for this year's Actors Awards. So, I've been watching all the films up for awards. Now, today, I'm reviewing the powerhouse film Sinners. I think Sinners is a masterclass in genre bending. The heart of this film lies in Michael B. Jordan's dual roles as twin brothers Smoke and Stack. He manages to give each brother a distinct physical language and vocal cadence without ever slipping into caricature. One brother carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, while the other vibrates with a dangerous, unpredictable energy. It's a subtle, brilliant reminder of why he's a front runner this awards season. It's a haunting storyline. It's set in the Jim Crow era South. The story follows the brothers as they return to their hometown to start over, only to find that a greater evil has taken root there. While it carries the DNA of a supernatural thriller, the real horror is grounded in the tension of the community and the secrets that they keep. It's a story about bloodlines, both the ones that we share and the ones we spill. It's a battle of sounds, blues versus Irish folk. One of the most striking elements of Sinners is its sonic landscape. The film sets up a fascinating cultural and musical friction by pitting traditional blues against Irish folk music. The contrast? The blues represents the soul, the struggle, and the resilience of the protagonist. The conflict. The Irish folk music is used hauntingly. It often signals the presence of the antagonistic forces in the town. The standout moment is undoubtedly the blues performance scene. The director uses a breathtaking montage, layering references of genres that the blues birthed: jazz, rock, and soul, showing that while the characters are trapped in a moment in time, their music is eternal and expansive. Brilliant ensemble and directing. While Jordan is the anchor, the entire cast is outstanding. Delroy Lindo delivers such a performance of gravity that he commands every frame he's in. Jack O'Connell is chillingly effective as the enemy to the brothers. Wunmi Mosako, Haley Steinfeld, and Jamie Lawson all added such depth, authenticity, and seduction to the story. And Miles Caton, he rocked his role as Sammy, the preacher's son. He also won Best Young Actor at this year's Critics' Choice Awards. And director Ryan Coogler's vision is tactile. You can feel the humidity of the South and the grit of the setting. His ability to blend high concept horror with deeply human historical drama is nothing short of awesome. This is a film that demands your attention. It's a reminder of what happens when world-class acting meets fearless directing. Between the transcendent music and the dual-layered performance by Jordan, Sinners isn't just a movie. It's an experience.
Yes. Yes.
So that is my professional take on the film Sinners.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
Gary and I are going to crunch the storyline and get into the character.
We have to give you a spoiler alert. The next phase of the review, we're going to get into the characters and the storyline. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to get the storyline spoiled, don't know what to tell you. Anyway,
we'll warn you when we are really going to spoil the storyline. I'll try to warn you. But this film, I just loved this film.
Yeah. Well, as an actor in Hollywood, it was very good to see your insight on the actual, not the names of the characters, but the actual actors and that played in the movie, their names and their authenticity, and just really, really cool. I really enjoyed that actor's review.
Thank you, Gary.
But let's pop over here to chat real quick. Looks like Fab Daddy's in the house with us. Good to see you, Fab Daddy.
It's great to see you, Fab Daddy. Yeah. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Yes. And it's kind of weird because we're doing this movie review on Sinners on Friday the 13th. It just kind of fits the mood, you know?
It sure does. Sinners is a horror movie, and it's just so awesome to see a horror movie rise to this level.
Yes. Well, I had never heard of the movie. You told me to go watch it because we were going to review it. And through the first half of the movie, it was just a complete awesome drama. I didn't see any sci-fi. I didn't see any murder. You know what I mean? It was just pure drama in the beginning. You got all this information about all these characters. And you know me, I love drama. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Who else is out here? Looks like Boogeyman is out here. Look at that.
Yeah, I laughed at his comment.
I know. You're on the casting couch.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Willie's Desert Hangout with us. Good
yeah, it's great to see you, Willie. I haven't seen Willie for a while, you know.
Leela Verse in the house. She's got her show late tonight. So I'm glad she was able to pop in and say hi on her phone.
Yes, that is so nice, Leela. It's so good to see you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's dabble into this movie, The Sinners. Let me see here. First off, the characters are just crazy. The movie starts out in the time period of the 30s.
Yep, the 1930s.
Somewhere around October in 1932, the movie starts out.
Yes.
So, which is an interesting time period for a movie because 1932 there's the Great Depression was from 1920 to 1933. It lasted 13 years.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Hello.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's like during the last year of the Depression, and not the last year of the Depression, the last year of Prohibition. And we're going to get into that reason in the movie later. And it was also 3 or 4 years into the Great Depression. So you got to take that in consideration when you're watching the movie, the timeline, you know.
Also, it was the Jim Crow era. And that is really a big point in this film, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, but Gary and I, we're going to kind of break down. We're kind of going to go through,
right?
You know, how it starts, and
right. Well, I mean,
just love the ending. So, I don't know. Some people don't like this, but I absolutely love it when they start a film with the ending of the film. So you know the ending, you know what I mean? You know that. And so that's what they do with Sinners.
Right. You get this glimpse at the beginning of the movie of the very end of the movie. Right. Is what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's where Sammy Moore comes in.
Yeah.
The movie starts out with Sammy Moore, right? He pulls up to this church and he's clutching this guitar, and it's during service.
Yeah. He's bloody. The guitar is just all mangled. And you can see here in this photo, the church is pristine and white. Yeah,
they're all in white. There's actually a service.
Yes, Fab Daddy.
In the movie, yeah.
So yes, it's in the Mississippi Delta.
And what you find out too is that the reason why he's coming to the church is because the pastor is his dad.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So here he is. He shows up to the church. Everybody's kind of tripping on him. He's all bloody. He's got this guitar that he won't let go. And his dad hugs him. And then it cuts to the next scene, which is the beginning of the movie.
Right.
These two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, right?
Right.
And they're interesting characters. They're the preacher in the church is their uncle. Their father is the preacher's brother. So they have a relationship with the Sammy Moore, the guy holding the
guitar. The young boy. The young boy is actually Smoke and Stack's cousin. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And So the movie starts out where, you know, you're tripping on, wow, what this wild beginning with this guitar player. What's the deal with that? Well, we'll find out about that later. But the movie starts out with these two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. They're have returned to this small town in Mississippi called Clarksdale. And it looks like they went away. They went to Chicago, right, Lisa?
Right. I mean, you know, you find out in the storyline they were both brothers went to World War One. They came back for 3 years. They kind of both went their own ways. You know, Smoke was with Annie, and they had a baby, and the baby died. And Stack, he has a relationship with Mary. We'll talk about Mary in a little bit. But then that falls apart. So they go to Chicago and they work for Al Capone.
And the
for
mafia.
10 years they're in Chicago.
And they actually make a lot of money doing it.
They make a lot of money doing it.
And they might have even skipped town with some money that wasn't theirs. We don't know, but there's so much interesting things going on with these two brothers.
So that is the reason that they're actually not just going back to their hometown. They are fleeing to their hometown. They are going back to their hometown with a bunch of money and a bunch of liquor that they stole from the mob. And they didn't just steal from Al Capone.
Yeah.
They stole from the Irish mob too.
Wow. So they stole from Al Capone. They stole from the Irish mob. They returned to their small town in Mississippi because their lifelong dream was to have a juke joint dance parlor, gambling and drinking and dancing. And that was their lifelong dream. So you learn about these two brothers, you learn about their characters. And it's kind of cool because then you're at the point in the movie, you're like, okay, cool. These guys got tons of money. They're came back to their hometown. They want to open a juke joint. Man. So what do? They go to this guy named Hogwood, this white kind of KKK type vibe dude.
Yeah.
They meet him at this old abandoned lumber mill because they want to purchase the lumber mill.
Yeah. So they go to purchase the lumber mill, and it's really interesting that they have a moment where the brothers see blood, dried blood on the floor. And they're like, did you clean this up? Is this place cleaned up? But we find out that it wasn't just a lumber mill. It was a slaughterhouse.
And that comes into play big time later in the movie.
Big time. And not just a slaughterhouse for people. Yeah.
Not only that, they pay cash. They got a big duffel bag thing full of money. And what's interesting is the guy that they bought the land and the property from showed up. He was by himself, Hogwood, right?
Yeah.
And they told him, they said, hey, man, if you and your little clan try to come on our property, you know, we're going to shoot you. And so they were kind of, you know, standing up to him.
Tension. Yeah.
Yeah. But so they buy the lumber mill and they're going to fix this thing up, man. They're going to make it a club, a juke joint is what they call it. And they want to make some money. So the movie progresses into where they're going to round up their crew. And now, obviously, the first person that they round up is Sammy Moore.
Yep.
The guitar player.
Yeah.
They grab him and they say, hey, you're going to be our music, right?
Right.
And then they round up a bunch of other really cool characters, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, Sammy is really the pivotal character. and they give Sammy a guitar, a blues guitar.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a 1932 Dobro Cyclops resonator guitar.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. And they tell him that it was once owned by I don't remember the name, but a famous blues
Right.
guitar player. So he's so excited. And he has taken such good care of this guitar.
Yeah.
But we do find out. I mean, this guitar is really a symbol in this film. But we do find out that the guitar was really owned by the twin brothers' father, who was a terrible man who beat the brothers up.
Yeah.
So they didn't want Sammy to think about him. They wanted Sammy to treasure, his talent.
And well, that's what's so cool about this movie, Sinners, is that the characters are so intense. The storyline, you really get into the characters, as they go around, they're rounding up all the people that are going to help them, as employees, so to speak, because they had roulette wheels, they had card tables, blackjack, they're rounding up their music, they're rounding all these things. The doorman, Cornbread, right?
Yeah, he's on the far right.
Yeah.
Cornbread was played by Omar Benson Miller, and he was a great character. He did a great job.
Yeah.
He was kind of the bumbling character, if there was one,
Yeah.
He is the first one to make the mistake to let the first vampire
Right.
in.
So they bring along Cornbread to run the door.
Yeah.
Not only do they have Sammy Moore on guitar, but they also pick up a really famous they go down to the train station, and there's like legendary harmonica player Delta Slim, right?
Right.
Jamming out on the harmonica, right? And then they come over and they, hey, Delta, come, sit in and be in the house band of our juke joint we're going to open. And at first he was like, nah, but once again, Smoke pulled out that stack of cash, right?
Right.
And that really it was the alcohol.
Yeah.
They go, hey, they cracked them like a beer or something, right? They said, we got 10 more of these on ice waiting for you. The alcohol is what got them to go. I thought that was really interesting,
It was.
So they're rounding up their crew, their doormen, and then there's Annie.
Yeah.
Which is whose ex-girlfriend? Is that Smoke or Stack? Is that Stack's ex-girlfriend, right?
No, that is Smoke's ex-girlfriend. That's the one that they were happy. They had a little baby, and the baby died.
Yeah.
Annie is like this white voodoo lady.
Right. In fact, he shows up at her place to recruit her for the juke joint, and he seduces her, and she does some voodoo, right? To cleanse it and make it productive. And she jumps on board. And I forgot what her role was. She was like kind of like the general manager or something, right?
Yeah, I think so. She kind of ran everything. She was kind of in charge.
She was by the bar. She was over by the card tables,
Yeah.
So Annie's character is really, really cool. I dig her character. I dig how they set that up.
Yeah, she was really good. I mean, the actress was amazing. She's Nigerian, so she really brought a lot of authenticity to her part.
Yeah, she was awesome. She was one of my favorite characters in that movie. And then of course they needed to round up supplies. Now they had all the alcohol because in the beginning of the movie they stashed this truck full of alcohol out in the middle of.
Right, because they stole it from the mob. They stole a bunch of alcohol from the mob. Yeah.
So they had all this alcohol. They needed other supplies. They needed food and all this stuff, right? And that's where Annie helped too. Annie was cooking, doing a lot of the cooking.
Yeah.
And so they go into town and they go to this Asian market, right?
Right.
And who's there?
Right. So this is Grace and Bo Chow. They own grocery stores. They own 2 grocery stores. One is for the Black community, one is for the white community.
That was so
And
good.
they are like this
Oh my
tough
God.
couple. And they
And
have a
she'd cross the
daughter.
street, right?
Huh?
And she would cross the street to each one.
Yep. Yep. And right now, I would just like to say that I think this film is just as good, equal to Interview with a Vampire. That's
Wow.
what I think. True
Wow.
Blood, my mind, I don't think I saw True Blood, but yeah. And it is equal to my favorite horror movie of all time, which is Angel Heart, which says a lot. It's just very classic, and it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, but you can tell from what Gary and I are saying is the storyline is so good.
It's so intricate, and there's so many of these things to pick up on. Like what I really like about this scene where they went Smoke and Stack. Well, Smoke, they separated at this point. Smoke went into town to handle the food, and Stack took the alcohol to the club. But anyway, they get to this town, right? Like he said, and there's 2 stores. Well, he walks in and he starts dealing with Bo Chow, her husband, and the daughter, right? He goes, "Hey, I need this and I need that." And like, "Go get your mom." And it's so funny because she comes over and she's the one calling the shots.
Yeah.
She's the one negotiating. He's like, "Hey, I want $10." She's like, "Make it 15." He's like, "All right, 12, you know?" They're negotiating on all this food and product and stuff that she's going to do for him. But I just thought it was so interesting that it's the segregated markets, but it's the Asian lady that's calling all the shots.
Yeah.
Running it, you know?
Right.
Really, really cool, man.
It's really cool. Right now, you can see this film on Netflix, which is really cool.
Yeah. You can see it on Prime too. And later on in the show, we're going to put up the link if anyone wants to come up. And if you've seen the movie, you're more than welcome to come up and talk about what we thought of the actual movie after we go through these characters in the storyline. So
right. So yeah, Connie, did you see the film? If you want to come up and talk about it later, we're gonna put up a link.
Absolutely, come up. Because now they got the supplies, they got their crew, they've got the lumber mill, or AKA slaughterhouse. Everything's in place. They're opening this thing up. They're gonna open up the juke joint. It's opening night, baby.
Yeah.
And that's when the movie really, really went from the drama. I mean, there's still a lot of drama, but it was just a really good party, man. You know? You see people playing the thing, the guys running the door, the food's cooking, people are dancing,
rocking, yeah.
Everybody's having a great time. And then you have these other characters, you have these other vocalists, we know that Smoke's character has Annie as his girlfriend type trip. Well, the other brother had a girlfriend too, and her name was Mary.
Right. And so Mary is a really interesting character too. And this is their story. Basically, Smoke and Stack, their dad was so abusive, they killed him. And then they ran, to Mary's house. And Mary's mother was half Black, half white. She took them in. And I'm going to turn this down. I heard a little.
It was crazy, man. She took them in.
So she took them in. So Mary and Stack kind of lived as brother and sister, but when they got a little older, they had a romantic relationship. And basically Stack just left her, and he wanted her to have a better life. So he did love her, but
Right.
he left her.
Remember all the characters,
Yes.
even the people coming to
Yes.
the party, the customers, they
Thank you.
all are aware and know who Smoke and Stack are. They're legends in that town because they went off, and now they're back. Just so everybody wants to impress them. So the
Yeah.
place packs up. Everyone's having a good time. His ex-girlfriend shows up, which not really if it was his ex-girlfriend, but like I said, he just had a relationship with her before he left, so there was
Right.
unsettled.
And Mary is highly in love with Stack. She wants to be with Stack. She'll give everything away. She doesn't care about a better life. She cares about love. So she wants to be with Stack, but Stack doesn't want to be with her just because he wants her to have a better life.
Yes. So the club is pumping. It's in full force. It's a complete success so far. And then it turns into this live music type trip where you got Sammy Moore on guitar, you got Delta Slim on the harmonica, and then you had another singer that came up, and took you. That's where it kind of started now, finally, from a drama for me into kind of like fantasy, because they went into this real fantasy type trip where how the blues from the early 30s influenced so many different genres.
Right. It was an amazing scene. Right. It did become like really mystical because, at first it starts out with Sammy. He's singing this song. It's called I Lied to You. And this song is about how his father, the preacher, lied to him that, the guitar was evil and the blues are evil and you need to stay in the church.
Gambling. Yeah.
But Sammy is finding his identity. So this song is really rocks.
Wow.
It's a really cool song, but it goes into all these dancers of rock and soul and jazz and African tribes.
Yeah.
Because it's all this music that expands time, and it all influenced each other, and it's all of the soul. So it was a really important scene. And I read that this scene took 1 month to film because, they had to film all the different scenes and put them together. So it was just gorgeous. I loved this scene.
Absolutely crazy. And then, what's really cool too about this segment is that's kind of like why the movie's called Sinners, because like you said, the church considers all of this, the dancing, the gyrating, the alcohol, the gambling. Okay. That's your sinning,
Yeah.
But because their passion was music and they didn't see it that way. They were living life to its fullest. And that's what I think Smoke and Stack came back to do. They came back to throw the biggest party ever, man.
Yeah.
They had the money. They were just, in the beginning when they were rounding up all their stuff and supplies, they were just tossing money around like it was nothing. That big a wad of cash,
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is when the movie actually starts to take a turn too, because then we get this like Irish music invasion type trip with these characters that are out in the parking lot.
Right.
Joan and Bert.
Right. You want to add this
So
one?
that was kind of interesting to me when you got to that point of the movie,
Right. Right. So when Sammy is playing his guitar, so in a scene earlier in the film, we have already seen that the main vampire Remick has already turned this couple into his minions, and all three of them sound so beautiful. They sing the folk Irish music, and they're basically just walking past the juke joint, and they're singing with their guitar, and oh my God, it's beautiful. Now, Jack O'Connell really sang his parts, which is really awesome. And the lady, what is her name? Her name was Lola Kirk. So she had a beautiful voice. They played Joan and Bert, but her dad, no, be quiet. Her dad was Simon, the drummer from Bad Company and Free.
Interesting.
So, she came from a musical background too, but they sounded beautiful.
And they
Didn't
wanted
they?
to come in,
Irish
they
folk.
wanted to jam. They wanted to come in and jam in the club.
Well, it's because Remick, the main vampire, heard Sammy, and he felt that it was just transcendent music, and that he wanted Sammy. Like, he didn't even care about everybody else. Just give me Sammy. And he even says that, just give me the guitar player, because he felt that if he could change Sammy into a vampire, then he could be in touch with his ancestors that died. So it was they had a little part also where Remick talks about he's not prejudiced, he's not racist. And since he came from the Irish, I think he bonded with, the Black people, and he bonded with all the people at the juke joint, but he really wanted Sammy because he wanted Sammy's talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, this is a point in the movie for me where it went, like I said, it slowly started progressing from an actual just drama the first half into kind of like sci-fi, because you're sitting there trying to process everything that there's like slowly like this vampire, one's biting one, he's turning into there's people are turning into vampires that are getting bit.
Yeah.
And then that's when one of the brothers get bit.
Yeah. Because Mary, she loves Stash. She doesn't want his party to be crashed. And, they come to the door, the Irish people, and they're like, we don't trust you. And they just sit outside and play their music. It's haunting. And Mary's like, let me go find out. Let me just find out what the hell their problem is. And she goes out there and she gets bitten, and she changes. And basically she comes and she bites Stash.
Right. If you leave the club, you get bitten, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Don't leave the club, man.
Right. But an actual brutal scene when she comes back in and they're like going to like a private room to get it on. And that's where she bites him. That's a crazy, crazy scene, because this is a main character. All of a sudden, he's got his neck ripped out, right?
Right.
And he's gone. He turned into a vampire too. And you're like, wow, this is getting crazy. Right. And then it turns into almost like a battle. The people inside versus the people outside, and trying to keep the people outside, right? Right.
It's a complete battle. And that's where the Asian lady comes back in, because Cornbread, the doorman, was stupid. He let Mary in. But the Asian lady, you see her going through, she wants to save her daughter on the outside.
Yeah.
So Remick, the main vampire, is saying, if you don't let me in, we know where your daughter is, because her husband's already been turned into a vampire. So she decides to let them in.
And you're trying to figure out what is going on here. Vampires, really? You're sitting there going, is this really happening? Or are these people getting picked off one at a time? And what was kind of a trip as it progressed into that, you knew that if your loved one turned into a vampire, everyone kind of knew it and supported, keeping it outside. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm sorry. You turned into a vampire. We
yeah,
got to break up.
yeah, big time. But anyway, it progresses. There's this giant battle, right?
Yeah.
And then because they're vampires, what's the worst case scenario for the vampires? The sun coming up,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
the sun comes up, and just like that, um,
So it really is shocking, but horror is shocking. So the people that we love in the film, they turned into vampires, and then the sun comes up, and then they get burnt. Like one of my favorite characters in this was Perline, and Perline sang a song. Oh my God! If there's anybody in this film that was put in there to show lust, it was Perline. Oh, she sang the song Pale, Pale Moon. I
yeah,
listen to it every morning now. I love it. Um, Roxy and I dance to it, but check this song out, everybody. It's called Pale, Pale Moon. And like if you have Alexa, you can just ask her to play that from the Sinner soundtrack, and you'll see what I mean. You will not be able to not dance to it. It
yeah.
rocks. It's so good.
The sun finally comes up, and you're wondering who survived.
Yeah. And you're so like, yeah, there's only two people that survived when the sun comes up. And that is Smoke and Sammy.
Wow. So the guitar player from the beginning of the movie.
But Sammy is the one who kills the main vampire with his guitar. That's why the guitar is everything in this. It's a symbol of freedom and goodness, actually. But yeah, so he kills the main vampire.
Yeah.
So then
The
they
movie
all
is so symbolic. You know what I mean? They did a great job um, doing analogies and symbolism. I mean, for the time period, for the stakes, for the mentality of the characters, of all of them. I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. And so here it is. It's the end of the movie. There's only two survivors.
Yeah.
Sammy, the guitar player.
Yeah.
Smoke, right?
And Smoke. And so before Remick dies, he gives it up and he tells Smoke that what was his name, Gary? The guy who sold them the lumber.
Hogwood.
Huh?
Hogwood.
Hogwood was part of the KK, and he was planning on killing everybody early in the morning. They were going to come and kill everybody that was in the children. And so now that Smoke, there's only Smoke and Sammy, he sends Sammy home and he sets up the white supremacists. And that's what we want. We're just like, yes,
Right. So in other words, when the sun comes up, they take their property back and they kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what happens.
But Smoke is waiting for them, and he just picks everybody off and he kills everybody. But unfortunately,
right. Instead of showing a bunch of KKK doing it, they used the vampire vehicle, right? When really in reality it was racism that,
Well, I mean, there was two different things. I mean, the vampires, they died in the sun and they're dead. And then the white supremacists show up. I mean, if it isn't bad enough for them, I mean,
right.
If it isn't bad enough, right? It's like, and then the white supremacists show up, and then Smoke on his own kills them all, but they shoot him. But it's a beautiful, sad dying scene, because then he sees Annie and his little girl, and basically Smoke is the one who, like, if you want to say there's an afterlife or heaven, he goes to heaven. He makes it. He's the good guy, but
Right.
he
So
does
in other
die.
words, the end of the movie, they all got slaughtered in the slaughtered house. The only two survivors were Sammy
Nope.
with the guitar and Stack. And so Stack avenges and kills a few of them, right?
Well, Stack is
He
a
kills
vampire
the
now.
Dogwood character, the guy that double
Yeah.
crossed him and sold him the slaughterhouse and then took the money back and killed everyone, right?
Right.
So he gets that satisfaction of killing a bunch of them. And then that's when the end of the movie, the sole survivor,
Yeah.
Sammy McGee, driving their car because they're both dead now. So he's driving that really cherry 1930 automobile.
Mm-hmm.
He comes pulling up to the church on that thing, just like the beginning of the movie. And he walks up into the church.
And now you know what everything happened. He's got scrapes on his face from Remick, the vampire that he killed. And his dad is just like, let go of that guitar.
And he
But
won't.
Sammy can't let go of the guitar.
He will not let go of it. And it's only at this point, it's only the fret, the
Right.
fret of the thing,
Yeah.
the fretboard. It doesn't even have the wood on the back of it. He just will not let go of that guitar. And that told me that rock and roll, baby, music.
Yep.
You take it all the way.
Yep. That was his identity. That was his soul,
Yeah.
So I love that so the very ending is old Sammy, who has the scratches on his face still, who is played by Buddy Guy. And that is so fun to see him play Sammy Moore at the very end.
Yeah.
So at the very end, Sammy, the story is that he went to Chicago and he became a blues guitar legend. And now he's old and he's sitting in his own joint called Perlene's after the girl that he liked at the juke joint. And who comes in but Stack and Mary? Wow. And it's 1992. And so now they're vampires in 1992. And it's just a great little thing. They kind of smell Sammy and they're like, you seem like you're going to be going soon. Are you sure you don't want to join us? And Sammy's like, no. They're like, just play us one more song. So Buddy Guy gets up there and plays a song. It's just really a great ending,
What I find interesting,
supposedly with the same put together guitar. Yeah.
For me, I think the biggest thing was it wasn't until you told me later after I had watched the movie, I didn't know that the same actor played both brothers.
Yeah. So I did that on purpose, because so I've been trying to do a movie review with Gary and, a few ones he wasn't really into, but I watched this already. I knew he would love it. So I said, Gary, just watch this. I didn't even tell him about the vampires. Yeah. And that's why I think that was great because he just thought it was a drama. And also I didn't tell him that, that Michael B. Jordan played both parts. So you didn't even know all the way through, Gary?
I put the link up, Lisa, if anyone wants to come up. And if you've seen the movie and you want to come up and chat with us a little bit before we end the stream, this is your chance to come up. We put the link up. Yeah. Look who's out there, Frank Terzo.
I know.
Isn't that awesome?
Hi, Frank. Nice to see you. Thank you for showing up.
And I was hoping, let's see what else. GDS says that Stack wanted her to be safe because she was white passing.
Right. That's right. He wanted her to live a white life. And the actress who plays her, I think, is Caucasian.
It's nice to
But
get.
she did really great. The actress is named Haley Steinfeld.
And then they also say that Sammy loved the blues, but he was the preacher's. Yeah, the preacher's son. Yes, he was.
Yeah. He was.
And he was also the uncle. The preacher, his dad, was Smoking Stack's
uncle.
Dad was his brother. Yeah, was his uncle.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it looks like Connie showed up and she said she loved the movie Sinners.
Yeah, it was great, right, Connie? I loved it. Yeah.
Right. Well, and also too, we said in the beginning, hey, spoiler alert. So
yes.
Really cool movie, man.
So you know what it is? Kind of like the story of Robert Leroy Johnson. I wanted to write this down because it's kind of like the upside down of his story. He was in the 1930s and he did that song Crossroad Blue and Met the Devil Blues, and he claimed, remember
Robert Johnson.
Yeah, what did he claim, Gary?
You mean Robert Johnson? He was just a really famous guitar player that supposedly he had sold his soul to the devil.
Yes.
To get really good. I guess the story goes that, everybody thought he was okay, but then miraculously one day he was just like an amazing just prodigy. So people thought that he sold his devil to get that, but really it was just hard work.
It was really hard work.
Yeah.
But he died when he was only 27. And this is how he died. He died because he drank a pint of whiskey that was given to him by a dude that had a wife that Robert was flirting with. And people even, the claims are that people even warned Robert not to drink the whiskey. But he drank the whiskey and he died of convulsions 3 days later. 27 years old. He was like one of the best blues guitar players. Yeah. And he said that he sold his soul to the devil. But I think maybe he did not. I think it was just hard work.
Yeah. Well, I had an absolute...
But I think that story made him more popular.
Yeah. I had a really good time watching this movie and doing the review with you. You know how much I love actual drama, and it fit all the bills, man. It had so much intricacy with the time period, the characters, music, symbolism, analogies. I thought it was awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. And I just want to say I really do love to see horror movies elevating their storylines. And it's so cool that this film is up for more awards than any other film ever. It's up for 16 awards.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Woo, we had a blast time. We put the link up. No one came up, but hopefully next Friday at the same time at 4:00, we're going to do another movie review with Lesa Noelle. So pay attention, watch the movie so you can come up and join us at the end about what you thought about the movie.
Yeah, I'd love that. I love to hear what people think. Yeah.
Next week, what's your movie review going to be?
I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
I'm not positive, but these are the movies that I'm going to be doing. F1, Begonia, One Battle After Another, Frankenstein, and Wicked. Those are the ones that that and there might be a few more, but those are the ones they're up for awards. So since I'm voting this year for the actor awards, I'm just trying to watch all these films.
I got you, because you're actually going to be, your vote actually counts for these awards because you are registered Hollywood AFTRA.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun though. Yeah.
Yes, and so look forward to another another movie review next week, same time, 4:00 on Fridays. We're going to be doing this every Friday, right?
Right. I'm going to try to do that, and then Gary and I are going to be starting on Friday, same time. So that's why I'm trying to do things at the same time on Friday. We're going to start our Hollywood Trippy Hippie show. And that's just going to be a fun show with comedy, music, and it's just going to be an hour.
Yes. So, but you're basically grabbing this Friday night, 4:00 time slot for 1 hour, and we're going to be here every Friday night. So look forward to that. And we appreciate everyone that came and showed up tonight. Frank Terzo, thank you so much.
Yes, very much.
Thanks for kind of the interaction was kind of fun with JDS, huh? Because look at, I didn't see this one. Look at Mary's mom was a quarter black.
Yes.
There's so many interesting things to pick up in this movie. You know, it's crazy.
There's so many little artistic things that they did.
Connie, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you and your input. Keep your eyes open, you guys, for next week, because we're going to do another music review with Lesa Noelle.
Film review.
But for Lesa Noelle, this is GMAY saying, you guys rock. We'll see you next.
Thank you so much for being here. It's so good to see everybody.
Later.